Hey guys, I'm Tyler Cocci and welcome to Tyler's Travels. This is your podcast where we talk about art, travel, and adventure experiences as well as ways to be more productive and create that optimal time you've always wanted to get out there and explore. Now let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 1 of Tyler's Travels. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to listen in. I'm going to start off by briefly introducing myself, then we can get right into the show. So hi, my name's Tyler and I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I went on my first overseas trip when I was just 1 year old and I'm still an avid traveler to this day. I really enjoy documenting everywhere I traveled through photography and filmmaking and just love watching my older videos and reliving those memories. Since 2018, I've been obsessed with riding roller coasters and actually found a passion taking photos of them. For the last year and a half, I've grown an Instagram account to almost 3,500 hardcore coaster-loving followers who enjoy my amusement park-related photography. This leads us into today's topic because we have two of the most respected photographers in the industry with us today. The two of them hosting almost 10,000 followers with years and years of experience under their belts. Please welcome Bob from at Bkphotopage as well as Alex from at Stateline Thrills.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, okay, so welcome to episode 1, and congrats on being the first ever guests. So throughout this little interview, we're going to be talking about your experience of running your actual pages, as well as some photography stuff sprinkled in here and there. So both of you have generated quite big followings on Instagram, a lot of those being gained by taking pictures of coasters from all across North America. Going to that many theme parks coast to coast requires tons of travel. Did you guys always enjoy traveling, or did coaster photography sort of spark your love for travel?
Well, for me, I mean, it was kind of a little bit intermixed, I guess. I started traveling while I was coaching travel baseball, so starting around like 2009 to about 2015, and I had bought a camera around 2010, thinking, "Oh, I really want to take pictures of my baseball team," but then realizing that after I bought it and spent thousands of dollars, that how am I going to take pictures when I'm on the field? So I kind of put it aside for a while, and then I kind of got back to it about 2015. And from there, I started traveling more because I wanted to document more and take more pictures and things like that, obviously, and ride more roller coasters.
So let's get that straight for a second. You didn't think out how you were going to take the pictures. You just bought the camera.
Well, I wanted to get into photography, and that was going to be a big part of it. But no, I did not think that through very well.
Okay, so for me, mine isn't like an awkward background. So my family's always been like one to travel all over the place, lots of beaches, we went to Florida trips a lot, been going to Disney since I was very little. My mom would always bring her camera. It doesn't matter where she went, she would always bring her camera. I don't know where this picked up from, but I would always have this obsession with taking her camera when she wasn't using it and taking pictures of the most random things, like the sand in the beach, like not just the beach, the sand in the beach, or like, or just a random building out of nowhere. And like, the pictures wouldn't even be great, but somehow they managed to develop as I grew up into like this love for taking photos as I travel places. And so naturally, as I got into roller coasters, it kind of just transferred over into being, okay, this is something that I really enjoy and I can take pictures of. So
so sort of like for both of you, it was like you like had your sort of separate things, and then you sort of like combined them.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool when you could like take two passions and sort of combine them together. That's cool. So like sort of on those interests, what are some of your interests for both of you that are outside of photography?
For me, I'm a big sports guy. I love watching sports, coaching sports, things like that. Especially baseball and football. I play golf. I'm a big trivia fanatic. I think I've talked to you about it before, Tyler. I qualified to be on Jeopardy a couple times. I travel to play in trivia contests and things like that as well. Just my thing. I like learning stuff and being a nerd.
How long have you coached sports for?
I started coaching football in 1999. I was only 16. I had busted up my knees.
Wow.
I couldn't play football anymore.
Wow,
And then I started coaching baseball pretty much right out of high school. I was 19 or 20 in 2002, I think it was.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. What about you, Alex?
So let's see.
He's a donut artist.
Donut artist. That's it. I'm a barista. That's my I'm my only interest. I dedicate my life. No, I'm kidding. I am huge video gamer. I love video games to death. I have been playing video games since I grew up. Always loved video gaming. And
I totally forgot about that.
yeah. And music, I absolutely love music. I cannot make music to save my life, but I love trying to learn to play new instruments
Yeah.
and just listening to all different kinds of bands. There's like not a genre of music that I will not listen to.
This is why Alex and I are friends, because I'm the exact same way. I'm like tone deaf when it comes to trying to play music, but
I will listen to literally anything.
I will listen to anything. Yeah.
Same. I can't I don't care what I listen to really, but like I did a guitar program for like 2 weeks once, and then I gave up.
I did too. Yep.
Yeah. No, I can't really. That's definitely not my thing. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, let's go into something that some young coaster photographers that are trying to get into the game might like. So, what is something you see people doing wrong when they're trying to take pictures of coasters?
I think a lot of people try to force it and force force the issue and think they're going to have these great pictures right away, and some of them do. But I think
Yeah.
early on, especially younger photographers, get really frustrated really easy when their pictures aren't coming out as good as what they see other people doing.
Yeah.
And I try to explain to people, if you go back and look at the first pictures on my account, so from October and November of 2016, they
Yeah.
were absolute garbage, and I had no idea what I was doing. And for me, I enjoyed learning how not only to take better pictures and to kind of process things, but to how
Mhm.
to edit and stuff like that as well. Yeah, so I think they put too much into, oh, I should be as good as some of these guys right away, or how do these guys do it, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
The other thing too is they think that you need all this expensive equipment to be good at it, and you absolutely do not.
Yeah, like a lot of people think like I'm on a high-end Sony camera, but my camera that I use is literally $600, and that's Canadian, so it's like literally like 500 American, right? It's not like some like fancy camera, but like obviously you didn't fully did you start with that camera that you're using now?
No, this is the
Like the
third one I've had.
D-whatever?
The first one
Yeah,
I had was a Nikon D90. It was recommended by a guy named Tom Bricker, who's basically a
yeah,
Disney photographer. He runs Disney touristblog.com. He is a
huh,
phenomenal photographer. He recommended that back in like 2008, 2009.
yeah,
When I got back into photography, I got a D7200, which is kind of the top end of the crop sensor cameras
yeah,
at the time. And then about about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I went to the D750, and I've been super happy with that. Although I'm still looking at
yeah,
the Sony A7R4.
yeah. You're almost there. You're getting there.
I'm almost there, yeah.
So yeah, I was gonna say the same thing Bob said about the equipment.
Yeah,
You do not need a DSLR or point and shoot camera in general. The best
huh,
camera that you have is the one that you already have. Your cell phone camera is so much more powerful than you think it is. Some of the best
exactly.
pictures I have ever taken have come off of like a Samsung Galaxy 4 or just a Pixel 2. Like not even like
Yeah,
recent models, but like just cell phones. Like
yeah.
the equipment that
People.
you have, don't take it for granted. Get go with it because it can be good if you get go with it.
Yeah,
Yep.
people underestimate the power of what's in their pockets.
Especially
Always.
the newer iPhone cameras are incredible.
God, I just
Yeah.
bought a new iPhone. My iPhone camera is amazing.
I have a
Yeah.
Galaxy 10s Plus, and it's pretty good, but it doesn't compare to the iPhone. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. In terms of what Bob said at the start about comparing yourself to others, I feel that it's a lot of people what they do is they over compare themselves, and sometimes scrolling through your feed on Instagram of just all these high end people that you follow that have been doing it for years and years, right? They put themselves down and they don't think of how long they've been doing this for, right? But on the other end, looking through your feed can also inspire you to want to become more like them. Yeah, I think also there's another side of that. Like if people take it the right way, the inspiration, and it can try and force them to want to be better in the end, right? And it can force them to work harder and practice more, right? And just get out there and try. So
Yeah, I
it's
think the other
really,
thing too is like a lot of the younger photographers, especially, and we say younger, but we mean, I guess, inexperienced, because there's a lot of people that
Newer.
don't start till they're
yeah.
older, like I am too. But especially
Mhm.
with the younger ones, they get discouraged really easily, and I can't tell you how many times. And it happened with you, it happened with Carson, a couple other people, where
Yeah.
I've been like looking through your feed, and I've been like, holy crap, this is a really good picture. I should try to get this shot, or what the heck is this angle,
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. Like there's been lots of times when there's been a photographer that I just found out about or just met, and I'm like,
Hmm.
holy cow, they're way better than I would ever have expected for somebody that young. And
Yeah.
so I think that you can't get discouraged too easy. Like the journey of learning how to do it was just as fun as being able to do it has been for me.
Yeah. It's all about the process, just
To
moving
elaborate
along,
on
right?
that too,
Hmm.
I think it's just as important to maybe don't compare yourself to the bigger photographers right away, but like take
Yeah.
inspiration from them. But on that note, don't try to be like everybody else. Find your own style, because there are so many people that try to do the same thing. It's still fairly simple to try to find your own style in the Instagram community and stick out and be unique. And sticking out and being unique will get you attention.
That's really true. Yeah, it's also a lot about your editing style. Don't just like touch up
Yes.
your photos a little bit. Like you can don't be afraid to edit your pictures and post process them. Just don't whatever you don't over edit them. That kills me.
Yeah, over editing is so much worse than under editing.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, another thing sort of for the beginners, a lot of people say that if you really want to create the time for something, if you really want to do something, you're going to create the time for it. Do you think this can apply to new photographers that want to be traveling more, but often use the excuse that they can't
I mean,
because of time
some
restriction? Yeah.
people can't. They just legit can't between work
Uh-huh.
and some of adults that have kids and
Yeah.
kids that don't have the means to travel, things like that. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes it's a legit reason. I mean, it is what it is, but that doesn't mean
Yeah.
you can't go out and walk around your neighborhood and just shoot random things and learn how to take
Uh-huh.
better pictures that way and stuff like that. I mean, we're all stuck in this bubble right now where we can't go out to parks and things like that, and
Yeah.
it's for me it's super annoying to obviously not be able to go, but like obviously parks are the things that I like shooting the most, but it hasn't stopped me from walking around and taking pictures of animals and flowers and all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff.
The
And
dogs.
and my dogs, and
Uh-huh.
tweaking it and trying to get better that way and just trying to create something that way. I mean, I think that the time thing can be a legit reason, but we can't also use it as an excuse if it's not a legit reason, if we're just being lazy or we don't feel like putting the
Yeah.
work in, because you're never going to get something if you don't work for it.
Yeah, very true.
I mean, Tyler, you and I come from the same situation here, where we both
Yeah.
started taking pictures for a very, very long time of just our home parks.
Yep. I
And
had 2,000 followers before I went to my second park.
I think I had somewhere around 800 before I went and traveled to a park.
Yeah.
So like, if you just take your camera and dedicate yourself, there are plenty of angles to whatever home park it
Yeah.
is. It doesn't matter how oversaturated the community is at your home park. There
Uh-huh.
are new angles and there are opportunities for you to go take out and get pictures that nobody else has.
Definitely. Like a big
And
thing I've found is like what I do in order to not screw up, like because obviously you don't certain times I felt I don't want to take my camera with me today because I don't want to ruin the experience of the friends I'm with today, right? Like you can put it that way. And but like what I've done is sort of like when I'm at my home park, I'll go and I'll just go for one day. I'll literally just get 2 rides at the start of the day when there's no lines. And then the rest of the day I'll just shoot away, right? Like once the lines hit, I'll just shoot away. And I'll just get enough pictures for like an insanely long time, right? And I'm just stacked there and I don't have to worry about going with my camera every time and shooting, right? Because I have those then. I don't have to worry about ruining the experiences that could have had
For
there.
me, I get headaches really easily, so it helps for me because I can pace myself between coasters. I'm not running between coasters thinking I got to
Yeah,
get in as many rides as I can all day
yeah,
long and everything.
for sure.
again,
Okay,
if you can't bring your camera to a park because you're busy or you're out with friends and you don't want to lug around that bag,
yeah.
your cell phone is perfectly fine to take pictures with still. So just in
Uh-huh.
between rides while you're walking around, use your cell phone.
Or you
For
can't bring your
sure.
camera to a park because it's a Six Flags park.
Right, right, right. At
Great
Over Georgia.
adventure with the 600 mil.
At
The
Over Georgia.
bazooka lens. Yeah, I don't know why some parks have to be strict about that. Like, what do you care?
They've relaxed it a lot, but it's just silly. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
That's a story for another podcast.
I'll never understand that rule.
Parks being annoying on their camera restrictions. Yeah. So, how old were you guys when you rode your first roller coasters?
I was 4. I rode Big Dipper at Jogga Lake with my dad. Although I might have ridden some kiddie coaster before that, but that's the first one I legit remember was
Yeah.
Big Dipper at Jogga Lake in 1987, I think.
Uh-huh.
Oh Lord, I was probably around 4 or 5. It was Carowinds for sure. I think it
Yeah.
was, what was it, Taxi Jam at the time, I think.
They called
Or-
it was named Taxi Jam then too.
No,
Carowinds did have a taxi jam. I don't remember what that.
I don't
If
remember
it
what it
was
was called. I literally don't remember the theme of the. It's the little baby coaster that they have at all the Cedar Fair parks. I just don't remember what it was called at the time.
the one
Well,
that's
it's
the
Great
one that's
Pumpkin
Lucy's
Coaster
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever. What's it called? The one that Wonderland that Daniel's been stolen to get credits like 8 times.
Yeah.
They always do. Who is it? You did.
I did, yeah. I have no shame. Was it Hey Arnold's Taxi Chase, Alex?
Yes, that was it. That was it.
That's what it was
That
called.
was it.
They called it
Yeah, I
Hey
just looked
Arnold?
that up.
Hey Arnold. Yeah, that was it. What a throwback.
Tyler, if you're
Yeah.
not familiar with Hey Arnold was one of the greatest cartoons of our childhood.
No, is it like that YouTube channel now?
What?
I have
There's
no
a
idea.
YouTube
I
channel
don't
called
know.
Hey Arnold. It has like 4 million subscribers.
I don't know. I just
Yeah,
know Hey Arnold was
it's
fantastic.
like an animated. It's an
Tyler,
animated.
if you have a chance to ever go back and watch all of Hey Arnold and Rocco's Modern Life, you absolutely have to.
To get an
Will
idea
do.
of to get an idea of the feel for Hey Arnold, his head was literally shaped like a football, and that was basically the
Oh,
the
no.
running joke of the entire show.
Yeah, it was pretty much he was football head. Yeah.
Oh boy. On that note, do you guys have any funny park stories that you want to share?
There, I have lots of them, but I don't know how many of them are appropriate. I have the one of our friend disappearing at Steel Vengeance Media Day because he had thirsty pony fries the night before,
Oh
and
yeah.
couldn't find them for 45 minutes.
Oh,
Going back to the camera thing, when I went to Great Adventure, who at the time was there, I think they've lessened it up now, but they were really known for being strict about cameras.
yeah.
I went there like a week after I was at Six Flags New England, and Six Flags New England didn't even question my camera. And when I went to bring it in, I got stopped by this security guard who looked like Tyler Perry dressed as Medea.
Yeah.
And I had to I literally argued with her for like 15 minutes. I'm like, I was just at Six Flags New England. They let me bring it in. They didn't give me any problems. Finally, she let me bring it in. And a couple
really?
people had asked me that day how I got it in. I was like, I just straight up argued with her and told her this is bullcrap. And I'll let Alex go because I gotta think. There's definitely more, but I just gotta think of what
We'll
they
come
are.
back to you. We'll come back to you.
So at the Ace event at Dollywood late last year, we had a big group of people. Keep in mind, Dollywood, Tennessee, it's when you get towards late fall, it gets cold, right?
Yeah.
Especially when the sun goes down. So, last rides of the night are lightning rod because ERT. We have like the Coaster Idiots crew plus friends. We have like 16 people line up on this train, and we all decide, you know what? We're gonna strip down to just our t-shirts and our shorts, and we're gonna ride lightning rod in 36 degrees Fahrenheit in just t-shirts.
Oh, no.
That was one of the worst decisions and best decisions of my life ever.
When did you realize? Was it like as you're pulling out of the station?
Immediately as I pulled out of the station, I was like, "This is not a good idea."
Right as it's too late to turn back.
To go off of that, when I went down to Disney World in 2010, it was the only time I've ever gone that wasn't spring or summer. I went at Christmas time, and now to mind you, the first like 2 or 3 days were great because for some reason my last week of school ended in the middle of the week, which it never usually does. So I got out on a Wednesday, I flew out that night. So Wednesday night and Thursday and Friday, it was dead as hell, and then as soon as Saturday hit, it was packed. But the first night I'm there, and I was with my cousin at the time, who was probably about your age, Tyler. And the first night we're there, mind you, this was for whatever reason, Florida went through its like worst cold spell in like 30 years.
Oh no!
And it was. I remember waiting outside for Rock and Roller Coaster, like out in the queue, and it was 23 degrees outside.
In Florida.
So when we first got to Magic Kingdom, that night, I was like, I really want to go on Splash Mountain because it's my favorite ride. I guarantee, they'll have the water jets like turned down. They're not going to spray anybody going up the hill or anything like that because it's cold out, right? I was like, they'll have it all turned down. And mind you, I'd been on it 20 times before that and barely got wet. So, of course, I got absolutely drenched. And it's like midnight because it was extra magic hours.
Of course.
So we had to walk back to the front gate, completely soaked, all the way out to the monorail to get back to the hotel. I'm sorry, back to the monorail to get to the TTC, to get to the bus to go back to the hotel. Drenched the whole way. So we go back. We were staying at Caribbean Beach. So we're walking from the bus stop to our hotel room at Caribbean Beach.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, shit. Let's go jump in the pool. We're soaked already. It's heated, right? So we jump in the pool. Wasn't heated at all.
Oh no!
Welcome to Florida.
Oh for 2, literally frozen to our core. That was not the greatest.
The worst.
And then the other thing was 2 things. Last year and the year before, both at Coaster Mania, I remember being hanging out with Taylor, and the first year, so 2018, him and Alec got pooped on by like 3 birds at once, just got crapped in his hair and everything else. And then last year when we went, there's a video of it, I think somewhere.
Of course, someone recorded whatever happened.
No, it wasn't that it happened. It was a video of me reacting to it afterward. We rode Blue
Oh.
Streak, and he was sitting in front of me and Wyatt.
Oh, I remember that
And
one.
as we're pulling out of the station, make the left-hand turn to go up the lift hill, a blackbird came out of the tree and just started attacking his hair. Because those things are super territorial and vicious, and it just attacked the crap out of his hair. And just like, imagine Taylor just swinging, trying to like beat a bird out of his hair.
Oh, by V just swinging at his.
I
went they at Cedar Point once, and their car, they came out, and their car was like had like a dead bird on the front.
That was the same day. That was Taylor. That was
No way, that was the same
that
day.
was with Taylor. That was what's his face? Lucas's car. They had hit a bird, and somebody left a note saying, "You hit a bird and it's stuck in the front of your car. R.I.P. birdie." And it was like a picture of a dead bird with X's for eyes. And then I have the video of that too. I'll have to show it to you sometime of Taylor trying to like pull the bird out with his feet and getting all grossed out. So then like he got grossed out. So I started like kicking it, and it just split in half and like fell. Like, yeah, it was quite the experience.
Yeah.
So I have another story about that same trip, by the way, that I explained earlier. So
yeah, the Dollywood Ace.
Yes. This weekend was a whole fiasco.
Oh no.
So we were there. I took off the whole weekend to just do Dollywood the whole weekend while I was up there, right?
Yeah.
So the Ace event I think was on Saturday, and then next Sunday, we went to Dollywood again. I went with a couple friends. When we got back to leave, I didn't have my keys or my wallet anymore.
Oh no.
The park was closed. It was closed.
Wait, was this your last day?
This was my last day in Tennessee. I was supposed to drive home that day.
Oh, that night.
That night. No, I don't have any hotel. I don't have any extra spare keys. I don't have any way to pay for anything.
Yikes.
So I have to have like Dollywood security call somebody to come pry my car open in the middle of the night. To keep in mind, it's like 11 p.m. at this point.
Ugh.
While my mom tries to find a hotel that she can book the night of.
Oh no.
For me.
Wait, so your mom's at home trying to book you a hotel?
Yes, in the middle of the night. It's like 11 p.m.
At 11
at night.
o'clock with the security guard trying to pry your door open.
Yes. While my car alarm keeps blaring because it doesn't want to be broken into the entire time. Like 10 minutes in, I'm in tears. I just cannot handle myself.
That's worse.
So I had to pay like $300 to get an extra key made so I can turn my car on. This was the next day. I had to get another key made.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But after I get the key made, I'm sitting in the Dollar parking lot, and after I get the key made, I said, "All right, time to go home." I drive like 15 minutes to go home, and I get a call from Dollywood security saying, "Hey, we found your keys."
Where did they find them at?
I don't know. They said it was in a ride lockout area, but they didn't tell me what ride it was.
Oh, so you lost them on a ride?
I lost it on a ride, but I don't know where.
Wow.
That's annoying. That'll haunt you forever now.
I know. So now I'm always super conscious when I go to parks now, because I'm like, are my zippers zipped? Are everything in my pockets good? I pat myself down every time I get on a ride.
Yeah, I live my life in a hurry, it seems like, and when I first bought that 24-70 lens, that one that was like $1,000, I had just bought that gear bag, which was like $300. Super nice bag. I recommend it to anybody that can afford it. And it has both sides unzip, and I unzip one side to get the camera out, and then I unzip the other side to get the lens out, and I closed the side I unzipped to get the lens out, but I didn't realize I didn't zip up the other side, and as soon as I went to move.
If you want to hear the rest of this story or the rest of this full episode, head over to anchor.fm/Tyler's Travels or look up Tyler's Travels on Spotify and soon Apple Podcasts. Thanks for listening.